In this video, we will be looking into rugged board uh, socket. That means how we will be using the sockets for transmission of the messages between the two process. The process may be related or unrelated. That might be present inside the same machine or different machine. So basically, the socket is a communication endpoint to which an application can write data and from which the application can read the data. Socket is something like a communication endpoint where one application can write the data into it, the other application can read the data into it, underlying the network between the network. So a process or an application, it can be related process or an unrelated process. It can be present in the same machine or in different machine. So this diagram gives you an client server paradigm. So the client machine can send a request. This server can serve to it. So likewise, it can present in the that application can be related application or unrelated application. It depends on your application how we are going to pass the messages between the two machines or between the process. So this diagram gives you a clear picture of how the server works and the client works and how it is going to communicate by using the TCP sockets. So in the server side, first we will be using a socket system call, which will create a socket, and then the created socket we will be binding it with this IP address. So simply if we create a socket, it is of no use. So it want to bind it with one IP address. So this bind system call is used. Once it has been binded it with the IP address, it goes into a listening state. The server goes into an listening states. So whenever a client try to establish a connection, so this server uses the accept system call and accept that request, the client request, and it will be getting connected, and accordingly it will read the data from the client, and depending upon that it will write it. So it goes on and it goes. When the transmission ends, it closes, and again it goes for the accept system call for some other clients. If you see in the client side, a socket has been created, and it will be then a connect system call is used. Connect system call used for this same IP address where which the server is listening. So like in that using that IP address, we will be using this connect system call. So the connection established using a three-way handshake, and this connect system call will be sending the request to the server, and then the connection will be established. Then the server will be, the client will be writing the data for the request, and then whatever the thing according to the request from the client, the server will be replying it. Then it will read the data, and then after the end, when the client closes, it will be sending the end of notification to the server. When it reads, so it will close and it will accept. So this is the way the communication between the server and the client, it happens. So if you're not able to understand, you can repeat this explanation again and again, and you will be able to get more information in it. So this is the pseudocode of the TCP socket. So we will be having a socket system call, binding it, listening it, and we will be moving into an infinite while loop. And this accept system call is something like a blocking system call. So it blocks there, and it will be waiting for the client for the accept. And then once the client has been connected, so according to the request, it send a reply, and then it will close the client socket, and again it goes to the accept system call and wait for the other client. This is a client side pseudocode. So there we have a socket and the connection system call where it will connect to this particular IP address, and then it goes into an while loop, write and read. So depending upon the condition what it need, so it gets the service from the server, and then at the end it closes. So this is what the basic overview of the TCP sockets, where the client and server transfer the messages. So C program for TCP socket client and server. So first we have to write a program to have a loopback in the rugged board. Next with the OST PC and with the rugged board. So I will be showing the demo on this OST PC and the rugged board. So maybe you can take this loopback in rugged board as an assignment.